Welcome to Room Therapy. Hi guys, how are you guys? Welcome to Room Therapy. Y'all, this Cancer full moon is. I thought it was gonna like slide out of here and not affect me, not catch me slipping emotionally, and it got me. Y'all got me this morning. It got me this morning, and just on like a whole. I think like one bad thing happened, and it really wasn't a bad thing. You know how things are. Things are what they are, while you're in a waiting period or whatever. And, things come up during the waiting period. It's just not always easy to process some of the stuff that triggers you. So, um, I just had like a trickle effect of my emotions, which, ended in me kind of talking shit to spirit and my ancestors and my guides and the guardian angels. And it's so funny because I've never done that. I am very gentle with my tone when it comes to how I talk to source and how I express myself and how I ask for things. And I think today, all that Cancer, fiery, emotional energy kind of just it made me be more demanding. And it's so crazy because I feel like all the Cancers are no, they demand a lot of themselves, they demand a lot of others. Kind of like mothers, which is crazy because that just led right into why we're here. It's the demanding that we put on ourselves, and the demands that we put on others, um, from a nurturing place. The lines can get crossed. You can cross the lines with yourself, you know, because when you don't live up to your own demands and your own expectations, you can be extremely self-critical, um, and you don't give yourself much room to be flexible. And a lot of times, I think it's because we align ourselves with other people's goals and our own, right? So I got all my own goals, all the stuff that I want to do for myself. But I also, have aligned myself with goals that other people have given themselves, especially in relation to like working out, right? In my last video, I talked about um, how the Ten of Pentacles was read in the video that I watched with the Ten of Wands, and how the Ten of Wands was saying that the Ten of Pentacles was a card of strife because of old, outdated traditional routines in relation to how successful the family is, how successful the family is going to be, how much financial stability there is, all of that. And so it was a new interpretation. And I feel like this is a little similar energy where, I'm looking at what it looks like to recover, right? The recovery process when you learn something new and you realize you have to, change your mindset, change your actions. Your whole family is going to be affected. Everybody in your pack. Shout out to the Wolf Full Moon. Everybody in your pack is going to be affected by what changes are now required of you to make. So, a lot of times we rush because we like, oh, well, I know this was wrong. This was the wrong way of thinking for me in the past, and now I need to adjust. And since I know better for me, it's like I'm going to do better immediately, which I always do. But I feel like, there comes a point where I forget, and I start to rush the doing better. And all of a sudden, if I can't multitask, which I learned is also not a thing we should be trying to do, that is part of that success. That Ten of Pentacles, idea is that we can successfully and should successfully multitask. I mean, shit is 10 Pentacles. That means you're the best parent, the best entrepreneur, you got a job that pays really good, you got your retirement, you got all your ducks in a row. Those are all multitasks that we as humanity never should have really. We never needed life insurance. We never should have had to have a retirement. We never should have had to get up and labor for someone else for things like food, water, shelter, for fresh and clean air, fruit, and things that grow from the earth, because everything we need is already here. But that Ten of Pentacles energy says, excuse me, That Ten of Pentacle energy says, with the Ten of Wands, said that that's wrong. It's an outdated system. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure I say it how I can. Got the Nine of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups upright. And the Nine of Cups. Okay. 9 and a 9. So it's a reminder to nurture ourselves and to remember all that we've come to and all that we've grown from and all that we've already done successfully in regards to ourselves. So this is not saying, I'm happy I went to college and got a doctor's degree. This is saying I'm pleased that I did what was necessary to work the job that makes me the happiest, or to do the thing that's happy. So it's much more of an internal validation and not necessarily something that's related to something on the outside. You're not mad that you went to medical school because you're the first pediatrician to do X, Y, and Z. This is what you wanted to do all the time. And so I think sometimes here, we're trying to kind of nurture all of these things at once. And a lot of self-care, should be involved, because it's important to make the money, but don't let the money make you. To understand that your abundance truly does come within, and you really have won and have the things that you need because of all the work that you've put in. It really is a freeing spirit. But sometimes we just hard on ourselves. But through self-love, we've learned not only to make the money and not let the money make you. Not letting the money make you is simply saying that you found happiness outside of money. And not like money doesn't make you happiness, but I mean like the grind of what it takes to make money. I'm not talking about being secure and having your securities, but you allowed yourself to tend to all the things, including financial success, that actually, make you happy, that actually bring you to this feeling of freedom. Okay. And a lot of self-love and self-care is required, and a lot will continue to be required. Okay. In order for this energy to continue to feel joyous and for you to feel well-rounded and like you've been well-studied and well-educated and really tending to the things that make you feel abundant, self-care and self-love is always going to be required to maintain the sense of freedom. It's about not tying yourself to the dollar, okay, or to a outcome that doesn't serve you. So, example. So, like, I'm doing this cleanse, right? I'm supposed to not eat for 3 days and drink this, right? Now, a friend of mine did it, and she did hers for longer than 3 days while her kid was on Christmas break. And so she lost like 9 or 10 pounds. And I'm like, that's fire. It's all natural. And, I remember kind of talking to her like, oh my God, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to at least do it for 3 days just to start to see how I feel. Because, 3 days is easy. But the difference is this, and this is what this is about. This is identifying what works for you. What works for you, not what works for other people. What works for you, right? This is not about a lack of discipline. Shit, the discipline is in identifying what works for you and taking that route and not letting other people tell you what works for them is the only thing that'll work for you. Now, I feel like, this is really in regards to like health. Physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, things like that, how we get in shape, how we maintain a healthy lifestyle, right? So, we were just talking about it, and I'm watching her face clear up, and I'm talking to her every day, and I think after maybe like 5 or 6 days, I'm like, God, I'm even, we all, when the camera is shooting down up, that shit right there, you can see it. You can see all that little love, that hangs around, all of that say you eat real good, all of that he hangs around here right from this angle. So most of the times we talking like that because she got her phone set up on her table and she's sitting up, and I could just see her face just like toning, her skin just looked really bright and clear and all that shit, right? So I'm like, oh my God, yes, as soon as I'm like, either after break or, I kind of was waiting on something in particular to get started. And I'm like, I'm going to be on it. I want the same results. I already know that it's kind of going to work because I do a different detox that's similar that, I just know it's going to work. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and I stress myself out because we like, yeah, after you do it for 3 days, you start introducing small food back into your diet. You're going to want to keep doing it. I'm like, yes. And I'm getting all excited. But then my excitement turned to anxiousness because I'm like, okay, well, wait, because I know me, I get hangry. Okay. If I don't eat by a certain time, if I'm not careful, I will get hangry. Right. So of course that popped in my mind, like, I'm gonna get hangry, and I just don't, she was like, you got to be disciplined and don't let that disrupt you. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. See, and that, yeah, but you don't understand is the part of us that knows us best. You can't fight hangry. You cannot fight hangry. Okay, you can't fight hangry. You will lose. I lose fighting hangry, right? Which is why I know it's important to have, balanced meals, small meals, and all that kind of shit throughout the day. You can't fight being hangry, right? So I'm telling her, and she's like, I understand. And I was like, it's so funny because I've cut out a lot of relationships where I feel like I had to prove myself or prove what I'm saying is true, so that the people that I have around me simply trust that who I say I am is who I am, and that I know myself best, and that whatever success looks like for me with this Four of Wands is what I determine it to be, right? They respect the boundaries. So she was just motivating me. She wasn't trying to convince me that it wasn't going to work. She never even said nothing like that. She just was kind of just trying to push me to greatness, which is, okay, what we look like here. We dancing and we partying and we living our best lives, right? It's me and my friend. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm like, so here's the thing. And I put it in perspective. I'm like, you've been doing yours. I'm like, but it's Christmas break. Your kid is with family. They enjoying a Christmas break, living it to the fullest. You at home by yourself. So when you hangry, nobody knows because nobody's there. You don't have to talk to nobody. Ain't nobody calling your name. You ain't got kids expecting you to come cook a 3-course meal every day to make breakfast and lunch and 2 or 3 different, nobody's expecting that from you. I'm like, but I have a 2-year-old who fully depends on me for every single thing. An 11-year-old that's like, if mommy not doing it, then I don't, you know what I'm saying? A man that's like, it's my role and everybody's at home. Okay, so I'm like, I might have to like eat a salad. It's just that simple. I might have to eat once a day. And so, I felt settled in the decision because I know, we look at these like, I'm not going to call them quick fixes because they're not. A detox is a detox. It's meant to help cleanse my gut. Like, it's not, a lifestyle change is doing one of them once a month for 3 days. That's nothing. This isn't a quick fix. But a lot of times we look at other successful people and they tell us, the ways in which they have been successful, right? And we try to mimic their version of success to bring success into our own lives. And yes, that works sometimes, especially when you're talking about working out and eating healthy and things of that nature. But it's so much of who you are that makes it a success. This is literally all about you determining your own success, which is, I feel like, all I've been talking about. Okay, so with the Ace of The Ace of Swords in reverse. Sorry, I thought my baby was calling me. And the Magician, this is basically coming out of your head about what other people have determined success to be and deciding exactly what to cultivate that works for you. So for me, I'm still going to detox. My body is still going to detox with me eating once a day. But I know for a fact, after I ate that salad, which I bought like 4 bags of salad, like the salad with the that come with like the dressing and all stuff inside the pack. I bought some, I don't know, a week ago. And sometimes I do stuff because it feels right. I don't know in the moment when or why it's gonna serve me, but it feels right to do. I feel led to do it. Now I get these kind of salads all the time, but because the prices of everything has went up, I'm a little less likely to buy them. I just buy all the ingredients and then I could just make my own salads. But in this particular one, I'm like, let me get these bags. I just feel like they're gonna match. And for me to determine like, okay, instead of me doing it the way somebody else did it, instead of me doing it in a way that works for them, I'm going to do it and make it work for me. That way, everybody in my house is still safe. I will, everybody will be looking at me like, well, damn, just because you got to go on a detox, we got to what? We got to, like, because have you ever had my fried chicken? I know you haven't, and that shit is fire, okay? My tacos, my baked spaghetti, the fuck? My homemade garlic butter on some fresh French bread. Have you had that? Have you had my grilled seafood salad? No, you haven't had any of those things. So you can't tell me that I'm not supposed to taste my food as I'm cooking. That I'm not going to pick a couple shrimp up and, you know what I'm saying? So I have to tricky discipline, okay? I have to do what works for me, and you have to do what works for you, okay? Quick fixes are, the situation where it says, do this for 30 days, and then when you get done, there's no after plan. You just kind of decide, what you either go back to your old eating habits or you continue forward. And the bottom line is this: if you're prepared to change your life for the better, you don't have to do nothing in 30 days. You got all the time in the world. Time really is an illusion when it's something that is going to change your lifestyle, something that's going to go with you forever. Okay. So have your goals. Do your workouts, do your 3-week, your 21-day, do those things. I'm not saying don't. I'm saying if you need to tweak it a little bit, the Magician, if you need to tweak it a little bit so that it works for you, tweak it a little bit so that it works for you. Do whatever you need to do to create the lifestyle change for you. Listen, and I follow a lot of the fitness people that talk shit and they be cussing you out and calling you lazy and all of that shit. And it's motivating sometimes, and when it ain't motivating, it just doesn't move me. But I enjoy anybody that talks shit. I just think the shit is funny. It's entertaining. But at the end of the day, I don't feel the pressure because I'm like, that shit don't work for me right now. Now, do that mean that I don't also, kind of fall off of the wagon? Yeah, but no. Because I've already decided that I want to live a healthy lifestyle. So if I work out for a little while and then stop for whatever reason and I get back to it and maybe stop for a little and then get back to it, that's successful for me. I got a 2-year-old. I work from home. Like I have a long life to live and have lived a long enough life to prove to myself that I know damn well I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because, even when I'm not working out, my diet has changed. The things I eat and the things I put in my body, they've changed. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And it's not like, for me, I do want to lose, like, I ain't going to tell you how much I want to lose. You know what I'm saying? Because I just keep learning new things about women and how a little bit of fat or insulation around our womb is important for a healthy womb, for a baby to be able to grow in. See, we forget that so much of what we do is not for us. So much of what we do is for the future. It's for what's next. It's for what's after us. It's so that the next generation and the generation after continue to have better opportunities and better chances because of what we're doing for ourselves. So I want a 6-pack. I want my stomach to be flat. And I want my gut to be clean and healthy. I'm not having no more kids. But the point is, we forget how sacred our womb is. And we get so caught up in some of these, I'm not telling you to be unhealthy, so don't take my words and switch them. But we get caught up in these illusions, other people's versions of what success looks like without ever really identifying what success should look like for ourselves. And that's what we need to start doing. Okay. We need to bring down the ideals that everything is for everybody, but there's a version of everything that is for everybody. Okay. And of course, the tower is about bringing down old things, bringing down illusions, bringing down things brought up on false foundations. And we know that half the people on social media, I'm on social media, okay, they're there to influence you. That's it. It's an influence. Okay. And so it's not like, and I'm not saying that the fitness community doesn't have your best interest at heart. That's not what I'm saying, because they are actually promoting a healthy lifestyle, but they're not qualified to, unless it's a personal training experience. When you're paying for a personal trainer, you get to talk to them about what's going on, what you can work with, what you can afford, then they'll adapt. They'll adjust the program to you. But when we just looking at social media, and social media is telling us do this, do that, do that, do this for this and that, and they constantly contradicting each other, you got to decide. You got to decide. You got to decide what self looks like for you, self-love looks like for you, in order to free yourself and live in your own space of harmony. Identify what the harmony feels like within you, and not letting nobody else's version or journey tell you what your version or your journey is supposed to look like. The Magician is literally about cultivating your own experience, doing it your way. Do it your way. Okay? And slowly but surely, through practice and through dedication and determination, you'll be able to identify all the ways in which what we've built up to be success can come down. It can come down. It don't have to. Y'all can overwork yourselves and talk down to yourselves and beat yourself up, but we don't need to. You just bring it down. Look at the butterflies. They're like, we're just gonna move on to the next hill. We see the truths coming. We see that lightning speed of information coming and saying, oh my God, yes, I don't have to do it their way. No, you don't. And it doesn't have to hurt anybody. Okay. That's why it was important for me to be like, I'll probably eat a salad. They're already prepared. It's really easy. I can eat it. I think I ate my salad at 1. I should be okay to not eat nothing else before bed. I'm going to finish my drink here in a second, and then I'm just going to go on. All right. I just wanted to come share that message with you guys. I really don't think we need nothing else, but I can pull an oracle card. I can pull an oracle card for you guys. Thanks for coming to my page too. I just want to thank you guys who've been viewing and watching and following me on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook, I'm under my actual name, which is Lewanda, Lewanda, Blackshear. Soon to be something else. TikTok, Aromatherapy 1111. Instagram 11 Aromatherapy 1111. Also, when the universe sends for you, take the call. Take the call. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. That thing that almost makes you have a knee-jerk response. And I don't mean in an angry way. I mean in a way that prompts you to move. Do it. Because if you don't, chances are your other thoughts, your invading thoughts, your intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts, all that stuff is going to just talk you out of it. And a lot of times when we don't move, moving is the prompt to realize that our prayers are either about to get answered or have been answered. So when you don't move, you can't blame God for not answering your prayers. Got to be obedient. Okay. Got to be obedient. All right. Spirit, can I get Angel Oracle? Archangel Oracle for the crew. Don't forget, y'all, the concept of aromatherapy is the fact that the idea that you can make any room a room of therapy. You can turn any room into a room of therapy. There are so many different tools and tricks and disciplines that can allow you to turn any room into a room of therapy. And all you have to do, the simplest thing when you don't have any external tools, is to breathe. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. All of that helps to quiet the mind. All of that helps to slow down fast moving energies, anxiety, and things of that nature. So you don't really have to pay for it. It's free. It came with you. Your own therapy came with you. Okay. All right, breathe. Archangel Raphael, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. Any room is a room of therapy, okay? Any room. Any room. All right, let's get the book, and then I'm going to let y'all go. I really love and appreciate you guys. All right, additional message. Often during times of stress, you may unconsciously hold your breath. Yet, as you know, breath is essential to oxygenate in your mind, body, spirit, and very life. Write a note to yourself to breathe as a reminder of the importance of invigorating yourself with deep and steady breaths. Make trips to places where fresh air is plentiful. You'll also notice an increase in air quality when you're near water, such as a beach or a lake. Even taking a shower or a bath puts you in touch with the positive ions associated with water and air. Every time when I get overwhelmed, I take a bath. Or not even when I get overwhelmed, when I really want to just be in the present and like make sure that I go with the flow instead of letting anxiety push me in one or a different direction, I'll go take a bath. I feel like I slow all the way down because of course the bath is relaxing and calming, and you know, if I'm going to run the bath water, I'm going to be in the bathroom for at least 45 minutes. So I know for a fact I'm going to slow down and take my time. Tricky discipline. I got a video on tricky discipline. Y'all go watch it. Working with Archangel Raphael's name means whom God heals. Every room is a room of therapy. Okay. And he is known as the healing angel in charge of physical healings for all living beings. Often, Raphael gives us divine guidance, intuition, thoughts, ideas, dreams, and so on about how we can participate in keeping our bodies healthy. When you call upon Raphael for healing, pay attention to inner impressions, and be sure to follow through upon the guidance that calls you to take action. Okay? This is your action. Cultivating your own experiences. Cultivating your own healing. Okay? Alrighty. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure serving you guys. I love you all. And I'm praying for your acceptance. I did a whole forgiveness series at the very beginning of this page. I kind of transferred my podcast to YouTube because I just was having issues with some of the platforms, the podcast platforms. And I did a whole thing on forgiveness, and then soon after realized that forgiveness is only half of the battle. And I feel like that's why we get, forgiveness is kind of given this fluff as though everybody can do it and all you got to do is say, I forgive you, when it's the acceptance that really causes the issue. Because if you don't accept the person, place, or thing for what it was, in its entirety, then it can have the same effect on you over and over again, right? It also can create that same experience in other situations because you didn't accept fully what was going on. You didn't accept that it was on purpose. You didn't accept that the person was being inappropriate or bully or like downright intentionally going against you or hurting you. And that's the part that takes the time that requires you to take time to recover. It's when you accept it. Because I never forgave people before, a couple, family members or whatever, and then I'll forgive them for that thing, right? And that's the thing about me is I will forgive them and then I'll let them back. I forgive them for that one thing and then I'll let them back. Okay, go on some more. For something happened, I forgive them for that one thing and then I let them back. It wasn't until I looked back at everything that I finally accepted. That this is really just what this is. This is really who this person is, because people can grow. That's just the thing. Like when you're not being judgmental and you're truly loving people unconditionally and you're I don't owe you grace. God is giving you all the grace in the world when you're able to come back and forth in my life, because I don't know, I'll just forgive you and let you do you. But the acceptance is when I realized what effect it was actually having on me. The magnitude of the effect that it was actually having on me is when I finally was like, oh, what the fuck good is forgiveness without acceptance? Nothing. It's nothing. It's no good without acceptance. It's not good. That's why the first step to recovery is accepting there's a problem. And for me, the old me kind of coming out of certain Christian values and, trying to almost use forgiveness as like a quick fix. Is it not a quick fix? Because I was intentionally, with all my intention, I was forgiving. Like I was really but I wasn't accepting. And people don't talk about that. People don't talk about that. What happens after the forgiveness? Okay, so what happened? You forgive me because you heard why I did it. You understand. You have compassion. You have empathy. Boom. And that's where I was stopping. I'd be like, no, I get it. That's my problem. Should I forgive you before you even do some shit? Because I have a very deep understanding of people in general. I don't really need to know your story. I don't really need to know all the details. I don't really need to know. I know enough. People hate that about me because you can't trick me, because I already know why you did it. I already know how. I know hurt people. I know about the fucking Stockholm syndrome. I know about all of that. So I already know why you doing it. I know. I just learned about imposter syndrome. I learned the term imposter syndrome. I know these things. I have a deep inner knowing. So you can't really pull the wool over my eyes. So what I thought I was doing was giving myself grace by just being prepared to forgive. Like I'm just going, I've already learned how to forgive them. I've forgiven them multiple times. I'm good. We're good. We were not good. We were not good until I looked back and was like, and this is what's so funny. The strength card, okay, was when I realized only one person in the world could get away with this kind of shit. To where I'm even like when somebody wrongs me, and I mean wrongs me, right? I forgive them, but then I be done. They not even a second thought. They're not even a second question. But we all know, we all have those relationships that really are close to us. We have a lot of pride. It could be your pride, as in the group of people, your pack, but your pride of lions that you have this loyalty to, that you realize, I've been forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and forgiving, but not accepting. I've accepted the person for who they were. I've accepted the people for who they were, but I didn't accept what it was doing to me. I didn't accept, what kind of limb it had me out on. You know what's so crazy? Because I'm looking at the Fool card now, and of course, the Fool card normally means stepping out onto something new, taking risks and action, things like that. But to me, when it's up against this Strength card in this context, this is people having you out on the limb. This is people dangling you out there over that cliff. And the only thing that's keeping you from fucking falling is your light, your connection to spirit. That's an amethyst. That's your healing energy. That's you. That's your direct connect to spirit, is what's keeping you from falling while they got you out here on this cliff. Okay? It is very important to accept it for what it is. Okay. The Fool card also says in another context, and the Strength card and the Fool, I got a completely different message. It's talking about how strong you have to be to do it. It's nothing but inner strength that's allowing you to even close your eyes and go. Because you don't know. You just haven't finally accepted. And that took a lot. It takes a lot. The spiritually strong, to accept things for what they are and how they affect them personally. Because me saying I accept you for who you are is me accepting you, understanding why you do what you do. But what I wasn't accepting was me and how it was affecting me, what kind of role it was playing in my life. And that's when it became this, like, oh, okay, I gotta go. I'm just gonna let this stick go. You ain't gotta dangle me out over the cliff. I'll go ahead and dive in myself. I ain't scared of the water, and I for sure ain't scared of the dark. All right, I don't know where that came from. Oh, what was I talking about? I don't know. But yeah. One more. Why did them deep breaths make me feel emotional? What did this card say? Release old patterns. I could cry. I just, after like that fifth breath, I'm like, why does this last one feel like I'm cracking up a little bit? Like, what's happening? I wasn't even thinking about nothing other than I'm taking deep breaths. Like, oh, I didn't expect to take some deep breaths with my people, but that's what I was doing. That's the only thing on my mind. And by that last breath, I'm like, I feel like my body is starting to tremble. Like some tears might come up. Aromatherapy. Any room can be a room. Therapy. I love y'all so much, bro. You don't even know. Y'all don't even know. So much so that I'm like, yeah, y'all will see. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. I be seeing the views on my page, but y'all don't be talking. Talk to me. It don't matter. I got enough to talk for everybody. Yeah. Ask all my friends. Oh. It's so funny, my friend was like, I don't know how you and him together because y'all both like to talk. You damn right. When you haven't had people to share certain experiences with and certain informations and downloads because don't nobody want you to be deep. Oh, you always deep. Oh my God, don't get LaWanda started. Yeah, bitch. I don't need you don't ignite this, nigga. I come on fire. So yes, I got somebody who came on fire too, and we love to talk about this shit. We talks up in this bitch, okay? Talking about it all. Okay. I hope you're inspired. And inspired. I hope you're inspired. That's it. I don't want to drag it out. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your week. I'll see you sooner than later. Bye.